Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none.
Top of the morning to you, Learn for Life students. How are you this grand morning? Listen, welcome to day 2 of our college week. And right now we have a special edition for you. In fact, we have an incredible day lined up for you all day long. We're going to give you some important and critical information this morning as it relates to the financial aid process and a fabulous way that you can connect with multiple schools through one application. How about that? So with that said, we are extremely grateful to have sharing with us this morning our very own Director of School Counseling and Student Support, Miss Lorena Galaviz. Good morning, Lorena.
Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, everybody. Excited to be here with you today to share with you some important information, as Cheryl mentioned, regarding financial aid. But first, I'm going to share with you why go to college. So give me a minute to share my screen here. Okay, are we good with the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so just some, these are some of the 9 biggest benefits of why you would want to go to college. The first one is you can increase your salary and career opportunities. So as we see here with high school graduates, the median salary is $678, and you almost double that weekly with a bachelor's degree. That is the 4 to 5 year degree that you can earn at one of the universities that we are presenting to you this entire week. You can also boost your job security. So here we have college graduates who expect to be with their first job for at least 3 years. We see it has significantly increased. You can also raise your job satisfaction. We all want to be happy. We want to, go to college and earn a degree and be happy at the career choices that we've made. So here we see that the job satisfaction between someone with the high school graduation and a degree, again, almost doubles. Benefits are important for your health and that of your family. So those jobs that require you to have a degree tend to have better employee benefits. Also, more independence. People who are able to move out of their home are usually the ones with the higher level of education, because as we saw on the first slide, there is an increase in salary that will allow you to afford your own place. You could further your personal development. And here, students feel college is important because you get to improve your self-confidence, you learn about your favorite topic, and you learn more about the world, so that helps increase that. Also improve your work and life skills. So education is very useful in preparation for your job or your career. And once again, enjoying better health. Okay, according to the Commission to Build a Healthy America, college graduates can expect to live at least 5 years longer than those who have not finished high school. And then networking, right? When you're in certain positions, you're able to get to know people that can help you with new jobs, that you can make connections with, start businesses, different things when you are in these professional networks. So we're hoping that this information has gotten you thinking about really moving forward and going to college. Next, what I'm going to show you is, why am I not seeing this? Is our financial aid overview. And again, this is an overview of financial aid, general information. And co-facilitating with me this morning is Jaspreet Kaur, who is our school counseling coordinator. I'd like to welcome Jaspreet to this presentation. Today, what we'll be covering is what is financial aid, types of financial aid, getting started, state agencies, and school support. So what is financial aid? I hear this term, I don't really understand it. What does it mean? So just some very simple explanation. Financial aid, it's money to help you pay for college. Which is super exciting. We're going to talk about the different types. So which can come from federal funds, state funds, from your school, from private sources, all of these different ways to help you pay for college. So if you want to go to college and you think financially it's not something that you think you or your family are able to do, we hope that this is going to give you some great news and some inspiration and some options. So types of financial aid: grants. And guess what? Grants, you do not have to repay them unless you withdraw from school or you don't complete your service obligation. There's some grants that are granted to you and they do require you to provide, maybe to stay in the program for a certain number of years. So there is some commitment on your end. So long as you maintain your commitment, you do not have to pay this money back. So grants are fabulous. We love grants. And so we're excited that you may have an opportunity to get a grant that will help you pay for your schooling. Loans you must repay. And sometimes, depending on whether or not you qualify for a grant that's going to cover your full tuition and expenses, you may have to get a loan. So you need to know that you must repay the loan as well as interest that accrues. The good news about that is that you don't have to pay that back until after you graduate. Usually, that's the way it works. Work study jobs. You can get paid to work on or off campus, part-time while enrolled in school. So when you apply for financial aid, and we'll get to that a little bit later, there is an option to select. They may offer you work study. And what that is the school will coordinate that job with you. And again, it could be on or off campus, but you'll get paid to do that. And the great news is that they'll work around your schedule usually at the schools. So work study jobs. Scholarships, another way to get free money. Sometimes this is based on your academic merit, your GPA, your grades, a talent, or a particular area of study. Many, many options for scholarships. Different ways and different entities that are providing you scholarships. And once again, those could be a private organization, a foundation, it could be the university you're attending, it could be, sometimes I see like parents' employers are offering scholarships, so different ways that we can access scholarships. And then there are some additional types of financial aid that are specific to special programs. So this is a sample list. There's aid to military families, for international studies, the Chafee loan, which is aid for current and former foster youth. The California DREAM Act application, or AB 540, is aid for dreamers, also known as, also referred to as DACA, and those will vary by state. So getting started, the free application for federal student aid. You will see this over and over, and we'll refer to it as the FAFSA. And again, that stands for the free application for federal student aid. We do want to highlight, and it is underlined, October 1st is when the application opens. So the sooner you can do your application, the better it will be for you financially. So we are super excited that we have about 2 weeks before the opening of financial aid, and we're hoping that you will be able to be one of the first to apply for your financial aid. So preparing for financial aid, we have the FSA ID, your Federal Student Aid ID. That's important. We also have, and then your personal and financial information. We have filling out the FAFSA and processing the FAFSA. So I'm going to pull up this infographic that will give us more information. Okay. So Jaspreet, you want to share a little bit about how students, what would be helpful for a student to prepare for the FAFSA? What things should they be ready with?
Yes. Well, particularly when you touched on the FSAID, that can take anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes, but depending on the information that you have. So that requires a student and parent or guardian that will need to fill that portion out, and that requires the student or parent social security number, date of birth, just some general information. And that is the way a student and parent will sign the application electronically. So that's the first step. And as you can see there's different information that is required, and there's a list that your school counselor can provide you before you are able to start the application of what you may need. There's different things that you may need for that. But going back to the FSES, the first thing we do, it does take anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes if you have all of the information. It does require the student, and it does require your legal guardian to fill that portion out to actually process the application.
Okay. And then you may also want to gather this information that you will be asked, as you can see in these circles: social security number, cash and savings, records of untaxed. So all of these documents and information from here you will be asked. So we want to be sure that you have that ready. And another thing is, if you start the application and you realize, oh shoot, I don't have any information on checking account, that's okay. You can save your work and then you can come back to it later. So just always know you can start. If you get stuck or you aren't able to provide information, you can always go back to it. Again, meeting financial aid deadlines. There's different ways that you can submit the form. Electronic form is what we usually see with our students. It is a way that you can do it online. If for whatever reason you're not able to do that online, there is a mail-in application. And like I mentioned earlier, each October, financial aid, or the FAFSA, is available for the next school year. So the application opens when? October 1st. So let's not forget, October 1st is when the application opens. We want to be sure. And then Jaspreet, you want to talk a little about the deadlines?
Yeah, so like Lorena mentioned, application opens October 1. It's so important to get on there and work with your school counselor or anybody on site that can support you. Well, really your school counselor is who's going to guide you through that process. Then you want to have it submitted by March 2nd. For California, March 2nd, just so that way, once your FAFSA is completed and submitted by that deadline, then you will be eligible for possibly for grants as well. Now, if it's not submitted by March 2nd, you could lose out on the grants depending on which state you're in. So it is critical that if application opens in October, just get it done as soon as possible. Don't wait until the March 2nd deadline, but that is when you want to submit your FAFSA then to be eligible for state grants.
Thank you. And what does that timeline look like? So if I'm a student and I'm applying, we're doing the process, I'm working with my counselor, what usually happens as far as the processing timeline? Okay. Here is some information on the. When you submit it, you'll receive an email within a few days from FAFSA letting you know that it was processed. And then when you are processing your financial aid, you will select different colleges that you are considering, and they may request additional information. So any tips, Jaspreet, for any first-time applicants?
As I was working with students, I think honestly, when it's your first time, it's overwhelming. It can be confusing. And you really want someone to guide you through this process. And our Learn for Life school counselors are there for you to, along with your parents, from the beginning of the application to the end of the application. They will help you step by step. So if this is a lot of information to process and take in, don't worry. Figure out who your school counselor is at your site. Connect with them, make an appointment with them. It could be a one-on-one support, which I used to do that a lot with our students. It was one-on-one, or sometimes they even offer FAFSA workshops. And so maybe look into that to see if that's being offered at your school site. So I think just connect with someone that can just help you with the application process, especially if this is your first time. And once you do it one time and you've created that FSA ID, you've created the account, you'll know the year after kind of what to do. If not, then even at the college level, the financial aid office, and there's people there that can help you and support you.
Right. And we do want, to encourage you, once you've gone through the process, and you may get different offers depending on the different schools. So we want to be sure that you look at that. After you get financial aid, is there going to be a cost to you? Because financial aid, is it going to cover 100%, 50%, what schools? And that could be a family decision. Our school counselors also can help you navigate that document to be sure you're understanding and reading it properly. And then finally is receiving the financial aid, right? You have to formally accept it and say, this is the financial aid package that I accept, whether they're loans, grants, all of those things that are being offered to you. And then check in with your school. How is it going to get paid out? Am I going to get any of it? Is it all going to go directly to an account at my school? So really knowing what is going to happen once you receive that money would be the final step. So let's go back to, so we just reviewed preparing for the FAFSA, the FSA ID, and again, the gathering of those documents. Filling out the FAFSA, again, if you can't complete it at the first try, you can be sure you hit save and you can always go back to it. And be sure you keep your FSID somewhere where you remember it, because every time you log in, you will have to provide that. And then again, the processing of the financial FAFSA, the timeline that it takes, and also making sure that you make your selection of the offers that are provided to you. Okay. So we mentioned March 2nd deadline for California. For all of our other students that are attending schools in other states, we included here the department in your state that oversees your state financial aid, right? The federal is the FAFSA, and then the state, which will supplement and work with the FAFSA with regards to how much money you're going to get for school. So be sure that you check with your local states to see their deadlines and what other grants and other offerings that they have. So we have a link here that will take you to this page where you can get more information from these additional 4 state websites. And California, you want to know more about, in California, it's the Cal Grant that they offer. So what's next? Now I have 9 reasons why it's better for me. It's important for me to go to college. I'm super excited about it. I know about FAFSA. I'm ready, but I don't really know how to start. I want to, but what do I do? So here's how you can get financial aid support at school. Jaspreet, you want to walk us through that?
Yeah, one is definitely meet with your school counselor. If you have not met with your school counselor, figure out who that person is, go to them and ask for help. That's what they're there for. They're there to guide you and support you through this whole process, not just financial aid, but the whole admissions process to college and all of that, to make that a little bit easier for you. I can't tell you how many times I used to have students tell me, Ms. Kaur, I'm going to work for a couple of years and to save up some money to go to college, but talk to your counselor. There's a lot of funding out there that you could be eligible for, and you don't know until you fill out these applications. And so, like I said earlier, just meet with your school counselor, figure out when they may have workshops or work with them individually. And then also we do have for our students in California, we have the California colleges accounts that we want. We have counselors that have their platforms, and then students to also create a account through California colleges, and your school counselor will guide you and support you through that. And it's a nice platform where the counselor on the back end can see, once you start the financial aid application, say if you are working on it independently, then they could see where, if you've started the application, where you are in the process, where you've left off, so they can kind of check in with you. That it also includes state colleges. If you've applied to any universities or community colleges, they could see, once you've logged into that account, your account through California colleges, they could see where you've left off and where they need to maybe support you. That's if you're working on it independently, but also if you're working with the counselor right in front of them and they're guiding you through the process. Still encouraging you, if you are a student in California, talk to your counselor about, hey, I haven't created my account for California colleges. What do I need to do? Can you help me get that set up? It's one place where you can kind of have everything there with financial aid, admissions applications and whatnot. And it's one website that you need to go on versus multiple. And then, Lorena, you want to touch on that last part?
Yeah, we also have, so if you have more questions, let's say you're not really familiar with who your school counselor is and you want to find out, or you have additional questions, you can always reach us at counselors@learnforlife.org, and we will get back to you. And we can also connect you with your school counselor or other supports that you may need through this process. So we'd like to really thank you for your time, for participating in this presentation. We hope that it has provided you a general overview of the benefits of going to college and the financial aid process. So once again, thank you for your participation, and we hope to hear all about your future college adventures and be able to help you navigate that process.
Ms. Galaviz, I
Yes.
have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so first, I wanted to know, what does a student do if their parent does not have a social security number or documentation? Back when I was a teacher, for a lot of my students, that was an issue when we filled out FAFSA. So I don't want any student to hear this and think, well, that counts me out. I know there are ways around it. So what do they do?
Jaspreet, do you want to?
Yeah, well, for California, there's other options. So absolutely, thank you for mentioning that. I can tell you so many times when they automatic, if a student that may not have a social security number, just automatically assumes, I can't fill out this application, I can't go to college, I need to find work. So thank you for bringing that up. And those students we work with, and in collaboration with the teachers and as well, in identifying or knowing which students may have shown interest but might have mentioned, look, I can't because I don't have a social security number. There is something called like the DACA and the DREAM Act application. It's very similar to the FAFSA. slightly different, and your school counselor can guide you through that whole process, and it does not require a social security number.
That is
so
yeah,
and then and even with our parents, sometimes our students, we've had cases where a student has a social security number, and our parent, maybe the parents don't, and that's okay. Then we're still completing the regular FAFSA, and then sometimes the parents may have like a tax ID number that they use, but we can navigate through that. Don't let that be a barrier. Don't let that worry you, think, that my options of going to college are not possible. There are lots of ways we can help get funding. And if it's not, say, worst case scenario, it's not federal aid, there's so many scholarships. There's so many platforms like GoMary, FastWeb that we can get you set up on, and then local scholarships like Ms. Galaviz had mentioned, that we could get students set up on and to get them funding for college. So yes, meet with your school counselor. Don't assume. We can help you through that process.
Ms. Jaspreet, thank you so much, because that's important for young people to know, that your status cannot inhibit you from going to college. And I want our students to know that everyone can go, and we are so excited about that. The second piece, I'm sure Michelle Van Kirk will appreciate us mentioning our alumni. Lorena, tell us, are they able to participate in this?
Absolutely. We, with the College Access Program and Learn for Life and Lifelong Learning, want to see our students graduate and succeed after college. So whatever we can do to help that happen. So definitely they are able to apply for this, to qualify for these benefits. They can reach out to their counselors for additional support, to the College Access Program and to the Alumni Program, to help you navigate and answer any questions that you may have for financial aid or college.
Well, that's really great, because sometimes our students get out in the world of work and they change their mind about a college education. And so we want you to know, if you are a Learn for Life student who has graduated, we are here for you. Come on back and get in touch with that counselor. We'll help you get to college. And then our last one, the last question that I wrote down was, how does a student approach the conversation about, and it's because we have the counseling team here. So how does a student approach the conversation with parents about out of state? I know, being from the South, my mom wanted me to go to school in the city that I graduated high school from. And I had a counselor who helped me walk her through out-of-state living and what that would look like, and the protections that are on campus, and help to just resolve some of her concerns. So what type of advice could we give to a student about approaching the conversation? Hey, Mom, I think I'm going to Alabama to college.
Yeah, that is definitely, something that I would recommend that you talk to your counselor about. This is something that I want to do, and I don't know. I mean, for me, if that was me, I would say, I don't really know how to talk to my parents about this. I'm not sure how they would feel, because probably you may know that, like you, Michelle, like my mom wants me to go to school next door to my house. But I would like to adventure out and seek out other opportunities. How can we make that happen? So I would say talk to your counselor, do your own research, find out about your school, find out about the school you want to go to, where it is, all of, what cities is it close to, what are you going to be learning there? The more you know about the school you want to go to, then the counselor can help you work out what that would look like, applying for financial aid, to have that conversation. Ultimately, it will be a family decision, and the counselors cannot, weigh in on that, but what they can do is help you do your research and navigate what are some of those points that you would want to share with your parents. And just an overall, what is the benefit of going to college and to an out-of-state college? There's many benefits to going to school out of state. So I would definitely say is the communication is key to make sure that you're communicating with your counselor, sharing them what you would like for yourself, so they can help you kind of put your research and your pieces together so that you can present it. And if you'd like to have a meeting with your counselor and your parent to talk about those options, we can definitely have those conversations to open up a space where you can have a conversation about it. And like I mentioned, ultimately it will be a family decision, but I think it's always great to have another person who has some knowledge about college admissions and programs that can help you put that together.
Well, I think the point I was making, you hit it on the head, Lorena, is that our counselors are a one-stop shop to help you get to college and to navigate issues and concerns that you may have. They are here for you, and there's nothing that could inhibit you to going to college that they cannot help you work out. So thank you so much. Those were my questions.
Great questions, Michelle. Thank you. So in talking about going out of state and to different, I'd like to share a little more information with you on, oops, let me stop presenting this. And I'm going to share with you some information on a free application for college. Here we go. Oops. Okay. And so as, are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So the College Access Program is here to offer different opportunities for our students to go to college. It is our initiative, it is our goal, it is our mission. That's really what we would like for lifelong learning and our Learn for Life schools, is to offer those opportunities for higher education. So the College Access Program is a platform for growing collaboration between all of our Learn for Life schools and participating higher education institutions. We are very excited that we have a partnership with historically Black colleges and universities through the 1890 Foundations. We also have different partnerships with Hispanic serving institutions. Hopefully during this week and all of our virtual college weeks, you will find out more about the schools that we partner with. That is our goal, so that you can be familiar with those schools and hopefully be exciting about attending. I know every time I see a presentation, I'm like, I want to go to that school. So I think I have like 20 favorites already that I really want to attend. And we really are seeking to strengthen and promote college access for all of our students. As Ms. Kaur and Ms. Harvey mentioned earlier, irregardless of your status, Social Security, family upbringing, financial situation, you can help you go to college. You can make that happen, and we can walk with you through that journey. So give us an opportunity, take advantage of these offerings that we have, and again, connect with your school counselor. That would be the starting point. So the advantages of our program, again, is college information, personalized matching with you, assisting you in enrolling in college. Our CAP team is dedicated to ensure that our students are supported through their academics with mental health check-ins and just checking in to see how it's going for you. Every student is different, so we want to be sure that we are addressing what you need when you need it. Financial aid guidance, anything we're super excited resources and networks to excel also, our partnerships that will help support that, that access. I thought I lost you guys for a minute. Oops.
You did, but you came back to us. So.
Oh, okay. I apologize. So yeah, I think I got through this. So we are excited to introduce to you the Common Black College Application, also known as CBCA. And so this is an application that will help students apply for 65 colleges with one application. And we have a partnership with the Common Black College Application. So many times, because of the cost in submitting college applications, it could be costly. Sometimes it's $20, $30, $40, $50 per application. Students sometimes can't apply. So again, we want to remove any barriers. We want to give you access. And so you will be able to apply to the 65 colleges with one application at no cost to you. Again, free application for 65 colleges. We are super excited to be able to offer this to all of our students and alumni. So if you graduated from one of our Learn for Life schools, you too can apply to all of these 65 colleges with one application. You don't have to do this 65 times. We only have to do this one time, and you can provide an application to all of these schools. So we're very, very excited to offer you this opportunity. How do you do this? You can contact the CAP team, your Learn for Life counselor, to assist you with an access code. You will need an access code that we will give you for the fee waiver. And again, once you submit your application will be made available to all 65 member institutions listed on the previous slide. You can upload any test scores, transcript, anything that's required through your dashboard once you log into this application. And if you have not taken any tests that are required through the application, you can still complete your application. And again, if you have any questions about this process, please go back to your school counselor to help you navigate this. They will create an account to upload your transcripts. They will have their own dashboard to see where the students are and be able to help you navigate that. And some of these member institutions, their tests are optional. So those are some details that you need to know when you're looking at what schools you want to attend. Is what is the school requiring? But again, that doesn't mean you can't do the application. You can do the application and then you can add your test scores if they're required later. Many of the schools more recently, due to COVID, have put a waiver on some of the tests. But again, please be sure that you're checking with each individual school that you are interested in applying with to see what they require. So super excited for your free application. You know the 9 main reasons why it's important to go to college, and we are very excited to support you through this transition.
Excellent. Listen, thank you all so very much for all of that incredible information. Learn for Life students, in case you don't get it, we want you to get it. Michelle Harvey and this incredible CAP team will continue to do all that we can do to strengthen and to expand this program so that you are afforded every opportunity to go to college. Our counselors, led by Lorena, are there for you. Please reach out to your counselor. Please contact your counselor. They are there for you. We are there for you. Listen, there's always a way. In fact, my grandmother used to say, there can be a way made when there is no way. We will find a way to connect you with the resources, and we will find a way to connect you to the right school that will fit your every need. We believe in your success. So thank you all so very much for sharing that critical information. Listen, it's not over. This is day 2, and we are just getting warmed up. So go grab a cup of coffee, some juice, a Danish, a bagel, whatever you need to do, and meet us right back here at 11 o'clock a.m. because we have Wilberforce University raring and ready to go. Are you ready to hang out with us for the rest of the day? Because we absolutely love hanging out with you. We will see you very soon. Have a great day.